Now what?
Yeah.
You're trying to do that like
Slyly.
Yeah, we decided to do one of these. A few people were saying we should basically probably once a month we're just gonna have a boxing chat and do it live on Facebook as people do. If anyone wants to send in any questions or whatever, just get in any topics you think we should discuss. We were talking earlier and we said we probably look out forward to 2018 instead of reviewing 2017. It's kind of sort of being done, even though it was a great year. And we probably flick back into it as we go along. So, firstly, just want to thank everyone. Wish everyone a happy new year, and thank all those who read the site over the year, and all those the boxers, the fighters, managers, promoters, etc., who kind of helped us out and have been great to us over the last year. And I suppose the last, is it 17 years the site is this year, Joe?
17 this
year. 17
year.
years. So, not that we were there 17 years, but
I definitely wasn't
long enough. And we really want to thank our two main sponsors, Dublin Plumbing and Gas and Liffey Crane Hire, who have been great to us at the tail end of last year, and without them, we couldn't do what we do. And if anyone wants to sponsor this video or has any ideas for names for it, or get in touch with or any sponsors out there to try and help us keep going, you're more than welcome. So basically, I suppose we kick on looking at 2018. It already seems decent enough. We've six
shows,
which are.
Okay, put me on the spot. We start off on the 3rd February. There's 2 shows, one in Belfast, Mark Dunlop, and then SK Promotions down in Dublin. The 10th, then we're back up in Belfast for Ginley Promotions. 17th down to Waterford for the first show outside Dublin and Belfast for, I think, 4 or 5 years. And the first show.
The last?
I'm not even sure. I think it might have been one of Peter Mayo's ones.
Oh no, would it be down in Anto Fitz O'Kane?
Oh yeah, in Dundalk.
Yeah, and then before that, Willie Casey Limerick, could it be?
First show in Waterford in 80 years, I think it is. Which is mental, yeah.
What was the last bill topper?
So you've that, and then the third is the last man standing. Obviously we can't talk too much about that this week because there's a big press conference next Wednesday where the whole lineup will be announced. We already know that Roy Sheehan's going to be in it and 7 more, and then on to,
how many did you do there?
I did 4, I think, and then 5th one is
Losing the Flow, Joe.
Yeah, losing the flow. 1 second. The 5th show. Apologies to whoever's running the show.
So you've what? SK?
I was in Frampton April 21st in Belfast, and then that was 6. Yeah, Frampton 21st of April in Belfast with the SSE Odyssey, and so 6? We had something like 18 last year, which was the most in decades.
And do you reckon we break it this year?
I think so. Like we've 6 within.
Yeah.
A couple more to be probably announced before Frampton. So we'll have close to 10, and we're only a third of the way through the year. Mm-hmm. So I can't see any reason why we wouldn't. There was just last year was brilliant because there was so many new players coming onto the scene. Like obviously you had Boxing Ireland coming back. You had
Red Corner
sort of establishing themselves.
Yeah.
SK Promotions coming in, Ginley Promotions coming in.
Good shows. Tony Davitt involved.
Tony Davitt back, after the Red Cow days. And then obviously you had Hearn and Warren coming back in.
TV. And there's talk of possible terrestrial TV for Last Man Standing. Katie coming to Dublin. So 2018 looks like it could be a whopper year for Irish boxing. I think first we're going to try to look at probably some of the big things that might progress this year, or and as Joe was saying, we probably have like a bit of a holy trinity to look forward to. So you've got like 2018 guaranteed big fights for us, or massive shows, or maybe if you want to look at them as shows that were renowned, it'd be Burnett, Frampton and Katie Taylor.
Yeah, well we've Katie, I know it's sort of been guaranteed before, but it seems like Katie's finally coming home, probably in end of April, start of May, world title fight, and they already sort of have the opponent mapped out. It's going to be Victoria Noelia Bustos, Argentinian 18-4 IBF world champion, unification. That's back in Dublin. That's a big thing. Like just for first of all having a big show back in Dublin. The last one was the Mac tonight, or Return of the Mac.
I think there might be a smell of Bernard Dunoff, and like for probably new boxing fans, they probably didn't experience it, but the Dun nights were just sensational, and probably like it's been what the standard bearer for Dublin boxing since.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
now Carl has done it up north, and it's amazing as well. But it'd be great to have two cities foreign, and to be like to be swinging Sweet Caroline in two places like before fights. But no, and it's another thing is that like to be able to build off Katie as well. Then from Dublin, I don't know. Do you reckon it's a regular stop for? There's too much talk of America, and like what would have to happen for it to be Katie in Dublin every?
Well, see, I'm a bit like maybe this comments a bit pie in the sky, but I think this could be either Katie's last fight in Dublin or Katie's last fight in Dublin. Yeah. But Katie's last fight in Dublin, or maybe she'll come back a few years. I really do think America's the way forward, but I think I wrote an article about the 5 big predictions. I think that Peters is going to come back into Dublin, like he's been sounding out. He's been talking about maybe doing Keeler in the National Stadium. I think Peters might want to get back on the Dublin scene. I think like he's going to have a lot of influence over the show, and then maybe just to keep stoned water on this side while Katie's off selling stadiums up and down the East Coast.
Yeah, and like it's a perfect opportunity to sort of find a new Dublin star and build a new Dublin star. And if he has to go back to the stadium and work back towards
that's where Dunn started.
The point with someone. I have it's probably a pipe dream, but I'm thinking Fury Joshua in Croker with Katie one day.
One day, maybe. Well, in fairness, I was looking back over an IFL video, and it was the press conference for when Hearn was meant to be doing the National Stadium in Dublin, and he was talking about Macklin, and he was like, okay, the path now is Macklin wins in the summer, then fights again in the winter, and then there's Lee in Croke Park.
So
Hearn mentioned Lee against Macklin in summer 2015 was when he was planning on doing it. Obviously, it never happened, but like he's aware that the stadium exists.
Yeah.
And, you never know. Like if
he plamazing us though then, or was he? That was genuinely what he was.
He was talking to IFL, like he wasn't talking to us.
True.
But like, you never know if it sells out within minutes, and like he sees that he's onto a sure thing, like he could come back, but he might try America once. And
the problem is we haven't got. So we've got say people world level. We haven't got Macklin Lee names, have we? Like, so you're gonna have to go and build it again. Like in all, no disrespecting any fighters out there. There's no one of world renown of Macklin Lee sort of coming up behind Katie there. Or, like if you look at that undercard, it's not going to be anyone that would have had a similar stature at that time. Well, if it wasn't, why couldn't you do Katie in Croker if you could do Macklin Lee?
Yeah,
Eddie.
But because actually that's a funny thing. We were talking about the undercard, and the rumoured undercard was what it was: Jonny against Deco 2, Paul Hyland against Stephen Orman 2, and the third one
Cummins and Melly.
It was Cummins and Keeler. Cummins and Keeler.
Sorry.
And like again, like I saw some people complain about that, but like
who complained about that?
Not Irish people, but I saw like a few English people complain. But I think like the sort of competitive fights, we'll probably touch on it later. But like having competitive fights from guys on equal level, like that is probably the best way to build a star rather than taking a risk in England. Like if you get through.
Yeah, but I'm probably jumping the gun here as well. But they're quality fights, but they're fights that have to be sold to the casual as quality fights. Yeah. If you look at Deco John O'Made for November the 18th, we were a week out before it was cancelled, was it?
2 weeks,
but it did not get the coverage it should have got.
Got more coverage when it was cancelled than
and like that is a quality fight, like, and it has every ingredient you want. So, but they were missing a trick.
Yeah,
they were really missing a trick. They didn't push it enough. So
we'll probably go back to it
that when we go down to the next level. Joe's killing me for jumping his little bullet point list here.
No, instead we have a question from Warren Crumley about when he thinks Burnett's going to be out next. And again, if I want to go back to that 5 big predictions, I'm not entirely sure that Burnett fights in Belfast this year. I think
this year entirely.
Maybe later in the year, but I do think his next fight's going to be in America with Matchroom USA.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're looking at the Belfast schedule, you have Frampton April 21st.
Yeah.
Then you have you're going to have Mick coming back probably the last week of May, early June. Then you're going to have Frampton again.
Is that on the record or off the record? Or?
That's on the record. Sorry. I hope. I wasn't. No, it's on. Then Frampton again probably in August. And then probably and then Warren's going to come back either with Frampton.
But if he doesn't come back, does he surrender Belfast then, Eddie?
I don't know. Like,
and does it screw Tenney and Highland and?
Well, see, they've no ties to Hearn.
Particularly
Like
they would be being guaranteed if he did come back.
It would be dream for us, obviously, but I'm just trying to think, like, trying to sell out a 9,000 seater stadium 3 times, like, maybe
it's possible in Belfast though.
Yeah, they're crazy.
It's possible in Belfast.
But yeah, maybe in October, November, Burnett fighting. But I think Burnett's going to be either fighting in America on a Matchroom USA or fighting on probably Bay. Hey Bellew too, yeah, that's London, May 5th. That sort of fits in. Like he said, he wasn't going to be fighting back till April, so I'm thinking probably then. And I think it's going to be Butler, just the way the rankings sort of seem to lie. Like
he seems to be pushing Butler McDonald though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but McDonald, like I think that's Hearn pushing that rather than.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
But just that McDonald says he's moving up. Like he said he was going. He's thinking maybe even skipping super bantamweight and jumping straight up to feather.
Alright. Butler Burnett is a great fight, especially with that little Butler Conlon thing there, a little bit of history for like people accused of avoiding them all the time, wasn't he? In that.
It's a real sort of pay-per-view fight, like sort of.
They were going into a pay-per-view fight.
No, not like a pay-per-view sort of undercard fight, like the chief support to.
Yeah.
And like nothing plays with that's a solid. And like obviously,
I still would love to see Ryan fight in Belfast again, especially keep the momentum and grow. And plus, it's better for air on the card sort of thing, isn't it?
What I like though about Ireland and Belfast is like we don't seem to be as into the war between the two promoters that like people go to boxing right down. Whereas like you don't have in Ireland, you don't have Matchroom fans and you don't have Queensbury fans.
Across the way, there's like people who just only go.
There's like do you have the Matchroom sort of night out cliche?
Yeah.
Lads, like
there's no harm in the boys warring for fights and paying people extra and trying to do bigger fights, better fights. A little bit of competition in Belfast suits us.
For putting the undercard fights, but like, but it's you're not.
I know what you mean. Fan-wise, like, well, sure. Look, was it? They were a week after each other, 2 weeks after each other.
They were a week apart in June, and then they were a month apart. I think Burnett also was going to move up as well. Like, obviously you have Inouye's moving up, the Japanese. Mm-hmm. And Zolani Tete, Hearn has said categorically he's not doing that fight. So then you have Yamanaka against Neary for the other belt. They're sort of out of the way. Like I think Burnett, who is tight, like we're not going to be accusing him of ducking or anything, but he is tighten up with the weight, and it might just sort of make sense for him.
They all start moving up, and they all just like get closer and closer. Like it's a nice. But then you've got Donny, yeah. And I suppose we should if you're on the top three or the Holy Trinity as you call it, you have to mention Carl. It was great to see Carl back, and there is nothing like a Frampton night, is there?
It's like I'm relatively green and new enough to the scene. Like that was actually my first Frampton night in Belfast. Like I wasn't even at the site.
How good was Sweet Caroline?
It was pretty good. Like just like it's just like there's no one else in, like obviously just Joshua, but like. On a more sort of local level, like there's no one who like takes over a city like Frampton does.
Like it's fight week, isn't it?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And I would argue that with a better opponent, you get a lot more.
Well, that's what's funny about Nuneaton and Nair. I've probably been calling for this fight for 18 months now. Like it is the perfect fight, exciting style, probably a bit too high up in terms of weight for the Nair, but still a name, still a dangerous fight. The Carl's not like it's not a walkover.
No.
And it's a real legacy name for your record.
Definitely, yeah. And like, have we seen already? Showtime has expressed an interest.
Yeah.
So it keeps the American interest. It's not. It's a risk, but it's not a massive risk without a title on the line.
Yeah.
Like it's a bigger name than it could be. It's perceived bigger worldwide than Selby. Would it be?
Probably, yeah. Like,
I know maybe not is better, and then you can domestically build it. But if you're looking at a worldwide, it's bigger. I hope Nair doesn't come in to Belfast too smiley. Look, I'd love one of them old school bit of bite, Kiko or Avalas was the best, and the taxi man. You remember the taxi man with the lions like wants you to be beaten. That was a lovely little bite in that, and Carl just took him out. That was probably my favourite Frampton fight actually.
But like Nair, he is like. It's going to be one like I don't think there is going to be that beef sort of angle there. Like Jonny's just too happy.
But sometimes they can do it nice stuff. But you can come and say, look, this fella's not in my league, but I respect him. Like that's enough. And like let
for you.
Yeah, well, no, to get a bit of bite. Like,
get the story out.
You know, yeah. But even just for the fans to bite in that, you know. So and to make Frampton fight week is just amazing. Like
after that though, we're
Excuse me.
like so you've obviously Frampton in there, and then what about it's going to be 3-4 weeks afterwards. You've Warrington against Selby in probably the first direct in Leeds, and that
the Leeds media were on to me during maybe early this year about that fight and asking about Frampton, what have you. But that it's not. It doesn't seem as I would have had Selby walking.
It's
It
funny
doesn't
now,
seem
like,
a given now. Yeah,
like, and that's like because once Warrington moved over, the Kiko fight, he was very unimpressive, and then Celan, who like had a good fight with Walsh, but like Warrington took him out of there. Like, it was a really good performance, and like people are like,
and Selby just
looking worse and worse at the weight every fight is what people are saying.
Do you reckon it's the weight, or do you just say it's just motivation, weight, and he just like, I don't know if there's a mental drain of just waiting all the time and wait another someone to get through to get to me.
He had a tough year as well. Obviously the fight fell through first Selby did, and fight fell through in January, and then in July his mother passed away like on fight week,
which was tough. Tough, yeah.
But like I know Steve Wellens was saying like before he knew that his fight in January was off, like Steve saw him the day of the weigh-in, and I was saying that like he looked like he was on death's door, like and I have a feeling like I wonder is Warrington going to catch Selby before Frampton does, if you know what I mean.
But like even saying that though, so Card fight's the winner, but you'd be up for Warrington thinking it's an easier night for Card, even if, which doesn't probably make sense if he beats Selby anyway, but in my head... Like,
no, I get you, like Warren just sort of...
suits Carl better, yeah.
In a way, sort of the level of activity, a bit like Santa Cruz, but not as come forward, doesn't have too much pop, but like...
Where Selby could...
And it's a guaranteed exciting fight as well, whereas Selby...
true.
Can stink out of place sometimes.
And you've got... They believe they're the best fans in the world, don't they?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, welcome to Belfast, lads.
Well, that's the way that Warren has sort of lined it out is sort of... It's interesting how, like, definitely he's been that, like, they're going to Belfast for Windsor Park in August, and it could be against Warrington, and there's a stadium, like, Warrington has a stadium fight there. Is Warren hoping maybe it's close, and then they do one in Ellen Road next summer or something like that? Or
the way I don't know, but the way Warrington is, or the way Warren is selling it, he just seems more in Warrington's camp. I don't know whether that's because Warrington is a ticket seller as is, but or does he think that he beats Selby? And like
he doesn't have as deep a link with Selby as well. Like obviously he has a proper promotional deal with Warrington, whereas Selby sort of a fight by fight because Selby's going where the fights are. I suppose like, I know a lot of people don't like him, but we should mention Scott Quigg was a very big fight against Oscar Valdez.
Yeah, wins that, and then it's another viable rematch. I
always thought he was viable, even like
it's more get away with than like mad to see it now, isn't it? There'll be more questions, but yeah, if he wins, but that's a tough one. Who was it?
Tyrone McCullough asked him what it was like to do a duet with Beyonce. He's referring to how I look like Ed Sheeran. Apparently, I don't get it. But
did you do it yet with Beyonce? I prefer Taylor Swift. Did you, that duet? What was that one?
I don't know. If we're going to move on to like the guys breaking through, we had a list of probably coming out, but I'll give you the juicy bits now. There's 5 fighters probably looking likely to have a world title fight, or looking not even likely, but looking possible. You have TJ Doheny, who has a title fight pretty much guaranteed. Dennis Hogan is 1 fight away. Paddy Barnes, who probably could be 1 fight away. Same with James Tennyson.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
like how many are just on the verge, like.
And like, well, we start with TJ Doheny, who's like sort of gone under the radar. Him and Dennis Hogan, like, it's this point we always make that Australia can be brilliant for guys. Like, obviously you still need to have that talent to get through, but like
getting rankings,
titles, getting into rankings, like it's just.
And you get your opportunities quicker, and they have taken their opportunities. And Doheny, like, was signed up to fight Gradovic, who then ended up going to Thailand, and then just it was a handy job.
Yeah, he dominated. It was a split decision in the end, but he dominated.
Yeah, and he was what, champion of, I don't know what it wasn't that. Like Pacific Asian champion in his 6th fight or something.
Yeah.
And that gives you
champion,
top
WBA
15,
ranking,
wasn't it?
He's fighting IBF. It's going to be Ryosuke Owasa.
And what you reckon for that one?
Well, he was the next big thing in Japan. I remember just from talking to Chris Hanager, like he was meant to be the next big thing, and he came in very confident against Haskins, and Haskins ended up dominating him. And this is the way above, yeah. So it's a winnable fight. The fact that the only problem with Doheny is like he has a bit of everything, but like, and obviously Mike Altamiro and Murphy's boxing and don't go ahead do great with him, but like he's always sort of going to be the away fighter. That might be the problem with that. Like Dennis Hogan's very lucky because he has DDP behind him, who are willing to pay money to get people over. But for a lot of the Australian lads, like you're going to have to travel.
Is there a way that could be bought on to as a chief supporter of an American card? No.
Not when it's a Japanese opponent.
Not even if Golden Boy were doing an East Coast card.
I can't see it.
No. Well, we can all live in hope.
But the main hope is, and like I've been laughed off about this, but Doheny wins a world title, Burnett moves up in weight, and suddenly you have the first ever All Irish world title fight.
There's about 50 ways that can nearly happen at this around that weight, like around bantam, super bantam, and feather. Like there's loads of fighters at the weight coming up and through now.
Yeah,
it was like in
both Tyrones now. Kev wants to know actually, do you have your tea bag in or out?
I've only water in that, Kev. Hot water. Joe has tea.
Stomach can't handle it anymore.
Joe wants me to have a few points.
So just on Barnes, Paddy Barnes will probably go, who's now 10th in the WBO flyweight rankings, and he's going to move up to 8 because 2 lads ahead of him are about to retire. He's a bit of a war of words with Sonny Edwards this morning, but like aside from that, like he was one of the fighters last year who probably broke through. Like he won't mind us saying that his first 4 fights were quite unimpressive for a 2-time Olympic medalist, and then
his last
fight with the breakthrough, like it was.
And
proven everything, like he has the power, he was able to. The guy came in heavier. The guy was one of Chocolatito's main sparring partner. Like he was a good opponent coming in really heavy, and Barnes.
And we always, well,
it's what we've been sort of waiting for since the day he turned pro.
But what he would have been waiting for now, he seemed to get frustrated, and he'd be adding rounds in the press conference and everything. When he'd for the 6th round, he'd be adding rounds, trying to sneak up to 8 rounds or whatever, and he was eager to kick on. And at that weight, look, you'd always expect him to fly up the rankings. And
sure, there was talk about him fighting for a European title in his debut. Like it was because Paddy Barnes, he was so synonymous with the amateur game that it was always just what's going to happen when he turns pro, and it was underwhelming through. I won't say fault of his own, but just the way he was matched, and it just all came together on the big, like his first big arena show, and crowd reacted to him, looked good on TV, and speaking of looking good on TV, we want to go just quick to James Tennyson, who 3 fights in a year, all on TV, all on big shows, and all stoppages,
and like the excitement element as well.
Most exciting fighter in Ireland.
I think James Tennyson's one of the best managed fighters, like in Ireland. When you think he worked from small hall, his setbacks have been managed.
He's only 24 as well. But that's what we were saying. Like I know, like it's sort of bad that James, like everything almost about his career is said with a smirk. Like when Hearn is talking about the world title fight with him afterwards,
he's half laughing.
Yeah, he's not ready. Or I can even like it sounds like a big thing, but like he's going to be one of those fighters in 30 years that's remembered because he's had so many good domestic. He's so many names he's been with. Like if you look at his, like he might not win them all, but like he's had 5 good domestic fights now.
Yeah,
which is
and like his last was it 3 last year?
3 last year, all by stoppage. The trainer stoppage was unbelievable.
Yeah, and that was a great fight.
Yeah, and that's the vulnerability is the thing. Like, it's not that he's chinny, or it's just that like he gets hurt. Like he's so like he does get hurt. He's been hurt in all 3 fights, but he comes back,
and he's so strong. Yeah, he's big at the weight. Like
uppercut inside is unbelievable.
And the Deco fight was a great fight too. And the stoppage was highlight reel as well too. Well, the knockdowns anyway. But some people would say, oh, like let him build, wait a bit, but if you're there, you have to take it, haven't you?
Yeah.
And at 24, take it, and whatever happens. Like he's in with a chance, and if he loses, like he's built back again, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly I think he's one of the fighters people should look at. Like he took his chances when they came.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a setback, he took it on the chin and he rebuilt, and he went out and done the business in high profile domestic fights this year, and look where he is.
If you want to just go on fighters who could fight for a world title, your opinions on the Spike obviously had that unbelievable win over Antoine Douglas, and now you may have seen like that Eddie Hearn seems likely that a fight. Eddie Hearn is saying that a fight with Danny Jacobs is a possibility.
Isn't it amazing though?
It's
Spike, not like he's just keep him busy for a year, then he produces a good performance against Quigley, and then goes does that on TV, and it's just like at 33 is now
33 looking better than ever as well.
yeah, and viable. Like he's been mentioned by Jacobs and Saunders, like, and for the call out king to be mentioned, like it's not Spike on Twitter to raise like trying to get attention or
It's wonder
dressing up as Chris Eubank Jr. This is him genuinely being mentioned by.
But what sort of way do you want to see? Like, would you prefer Spike fight someone like, say, he tops a bill and a Murphy's bill on ESPN on Boston against, say, like Rosado has another war win, like a fight where he's the A side, or do you want him seeing going in against like where he's been brought in essentially to lose just as a stay busy fight while they're all waiting for Golovkin and Canelo? Like, I think Spike has proven that he's like he doesn't have to do that now. Like he is a legitimate top 10 fighter by virtue of the way he demolished.
Yeah, but like
maybe not the top 10, but like top 20. And he is a proper like in world title contention.
Well, I have a feeling Spike thinks along the lines of, okay, you admit he didn't train as much for it. This is the most he's ever trained, and he's a new animal, and so the fight with Saunders would be a whole different ball game. But like what Saunders done with Lemieux is just put him on a different platform, and then Jacobs is a big boy, isn't he? With a skill set too. But like.
And Spike isn't the biggest middleweight as well. Like he's a solid middleweight, but he's not the biggest.
But I have honestly, and as you say, that Spike, what you called it before, I'll give it to you. Spike against Quigley is trouble for anybody. That type of style, if he can keep that up and he's fit.
Well, that's actually a point that probably needs making. That like Spike has had this just epiphany at age of 33. Like, stay in the gym all the time, stay fit, and
do yoga.
When you're being brought in to be when you're being brought into an opponent, you've had 4 weeks of training in the bank. You are on weight. You're not coming in trying to shift 2 stone.
And it has to be said, he got the call for the Douglas fight late.
Yeah,
but he was
5 weeks and he was already in the gym.
Yeah,
and that like, because Ireland's a small place, as good as it is with TV coming back, that like for a lot of the time fighters are going to be B-side, and
you've got to take a chance.
Yeah, you got to take a chance. You've got to be ready for your chance. And like Sean Turner probably is. Sean Turner was tapping away. He actually got lucky. I think the Swiss may have been a bit naive there, giving him a decent enough camp, but him coming in and then dominating, and now you go to a different level. Like, there's going to be like guys. Obviously, there's some great management teams out there, but there's very few Irish fighters with big promotional backing.
So you got your big chance is going to come on the road.
Stay in the gym.
Yeah, but and I don't even know if that was just staying in the gym. What was really impressive about them fights, and there was a lot of them last year that stood out to me. So, Big Sexy went and took it. This is my chance. I'm going to Spike, the same.
Paul Hyland Jr.
Yeah. Like this, I'm
Twice.
on TV. Yeah, but like the first one was like, everyone was talking about Tenny. It was Tenny, wasn't it, in the build up?
Yeah,
and
Tenny
and Tenny start.
yeah.
But Paul Hyland, like, this is my chance on TV. Boom, here you go, take that. And that was like it just changed his whole career on the spot.
Yeah.
And there is lads that go abroad and like it's like you can't rely on the scorecards. You have to go that extra 10%. You have okay, I'm winning this round. You have to just put, like when you're away from home, it's more of a mental attitude. Or if you look at all the big wins, so Big Sexy went and took it. Paul Hyland went and took it.
No, Kennedy went and took it as well.
But probably what more impressive was that is because he did it without having to be aggressive. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm nearly arguing here. Well, you have to go for it, you know.
No, but yeah, he went and like he dominated rather than trying to like, sneak every round.
But but like he wasn't bullying
not every round, but he dominated enough.
Yeah, and like I think when you're talking about taking your chances, like I know it's not the same thing, but John O'Carroll when he got TV.
Yeah, make a name for yourself.
Yeah, like the first bell of the first drop of a note on the ring walk, and John was like, "No one is forgetting me."
Well, the thing was, the fight was a 7:30, and like the stadium, like it wasn't. It was
great atmosphere.
Great atmosphere, but it was great atmosphere, but it wasn't particularly. It was maybe 50% full, but it sounded like great noise. Like I watched it back the next day, and like John Rollins was orgasming, like it just annoyed you, like he just couldn't believe it. And that's just trying to like all it takes is if you like just G up the crowd, and like everyone's on board with this guy who has no connection to Belfast. Like he trains with Jamie and Paddy, but like how many people knew that? Like they were just going in because here's this.
He made love to the camera.
He
made love to the camera from the minute one and played to the crowd, and it
wasn't sinister either. Though. He genuinely enjoyed it. Like
that's Jono, isn't it? Like it is a thing that people should look at. Like when you have the spotlight's on you, make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And we have to do it more than others in Ireland because it's the same point you're making earlier. Like there's no one paying big money to bring in opponents to make you look good. Or
Yeah, not everyone, we obviously there's Frampton, there's Burnett, there's Cady, but like Spike has a bit of a deal there with Golden Boy, but like it is a lot of the time on the big stage you're not going to be in the home dressing room. So do you want to move probably just a bit
you didn't mention Dennis though, did you, for his world title fight?
Dennis Hogan, beg your pardon, Dennis he beat Yuki Nanaka in one of the probably the best, most under the radar Irish wins of the year.
But a lot of people wouldn't know Yuki Nanaka, so if you want, like, how good of a win was that?
Well, he's fighting a guy. He's fighting a man who is what he was. He was fighting a man who was what 7th, I think, with the WBO. I know he was 39, but he was a big, tall southpaw who was unbeaten, I think, in 10 years in the Japanese scene, which is like crazy because the Japanese scene is what we dream about in Irish boxing. They just keep fighting.
Japan isn't Germany, like it's not big lads always to be beaten. It's like
it's okay. Yeah. You're the best in Japan, so fight the second best in Japan. Prove you're still the best, and it's just like that the whole year. And he got a bit buzzed in the first round, but like what Dennis Hogan does well is he works people out. Like his amateur pedigree, I think he was an intermediate champion. But he wasn't a major amateur, but he's a very clever fighter. Like he had a couple of fights. Teron Brunson was one of them over in America. He lost the first couple of rounds, and then he turned it around. Like he's a very, I think it was Roddy Gavril. I think no, not Roddy Gavril. There was another guy where he sort of like he may start a bit slow, but he ends up and he just like he's so hard to keep off. And he was with Glenn Rushton and Jeff Horn.
I was talking to his promoter before Christmas, and he was saying his new training regime's really brought a lot out of him. They've only had one fight, but
that was the first.
They reckon they're seeing a difference. A nice little story there as well. Dennis went in looking for sponsorship and
from Dublin.
A fella from Dublin Paul Keegan, who basically started helping him sell tickets, helping with his social media, and now out of nowhere is a promoter and ran. Would it be the second biggest show in Australia last year?
It was definitely the third because they went back with Horn Corcoran, but it could easily be the second. Like they got a lot of people into the convention centre in Brisbane. They streamed it live. Online. They had Alex Lepai. Who fought Vladimir Klitschko. I think he's the only other person that Paul has on board. But now it's looking like Dennis. Dennis actually was very, very unlucky where Miguel Cotto losing his last fight means Saddam Ali now holds WBO lightweight title.
Puerto Rico and Kildare.
The Kilcullans and the Puerto Ricans. But yeah, he so now that title's with Saddam Ali, and next in line is Liam Smith after beating Liam Williams. Whereas the dream scenario was that Miguel Cotto retains his belt against Ali. Ali falls out of the rankings. Miguel Cotto drops his belt, and then it has to be Liam Smith against someone. And it was looking like that someone was going to be Dennis Hogan.
They were over there.
They flew from Brisbane up to Newcastle to speak to Warren. Yeah. But now what's going to happen is it's going to be Smith against Ali, and now they're trying to find a final eliminator for Dennis. He's in the top 5. They're looking at the other guys in the top 5.
He's 4, isn't he? So it looks like him and the Russian.
It's either him and Magomed Kurbanov or him and Jimmy Kelly. I know there's Canada Islam as well. But
I think if a deal can't be made with the Russian, they'd look to Kelly. I don't know how you sell that to the WBO, but I presume if they will be saying Kurbanov and.
But I think the WBO wouldn't mind. Kelly, if that's a perfect chief support for Smith against Ali, then you have another WBO title fight. Like I think they might be amenable to that, having them both on the same card.
I would love to see Hogan Kelly though.
Yeah, that's a great fight. And because at least closer to home that his family might actually get to see him as well. Like he's had, I know he won a Celtic Nations title,
and it opens if it makes it easier to make Smith Hogan. Then if Smith beats Ali then Hogan, we believe, turned down Brooke. Yeah. But, so if he wins, it ends up going and doing well against Smith. That could be a fight down the line. He's on a nice career path now, and all built from Oz and kind of away from under the radar. Although a lot of coverage on IrishBoxing.com over the years. Use the site. Exactly.
So if we're just gonna maybe move down onto the Irish scene, just as sort of obviously there's been the big shows, but what's been amazing about this year is sort of obviously, as I mentioned earlier, all the new promoters coming on, and you have you sort of have like the BUI Celtic title, and that sort of the 8-round fight has become rather than just this sort of annoyance that fighters have the way up there. Oops. Sorry. Still there? Is it? Yeah, the 8-round fight is now, you can make fights there. Like there's Like
not you can make fights there. You have to make fights there.
Yeah, and but the BOI Celtic title is
is a gift for it. Yeah,
a godsend. Like
yeah.
you don't have that in England. Like, I know the British Promoters
Well,
Association.
is it not the equivalent of your area titles? No,
I think they were 10 rounds. Like it's still it took a lot more to get up to 10 rounds, but because like we've had some brilliant fights this year, and sort of a growing trend. Well, we're hoping it's a growing trend.
If you say there's 37 debutants last year, yeah,
yeah.
Like, so that's 37 new people vying for the spotlight, like the spotlight, and 37 trying to get your name out there. And so say, okay, there's so many new fighters on the new promotion shows. So what do? Do they have 10 shows where these lads are going to be just fighting journeymen? It won't work. It'll
Boxing's
just fail.
changing. Like,
yeah, they have to fight each other.
Like, I don't. I'm sure Padjo won't mind us bringing this, but Padjo Highland, I think, was. Like, he's joked about himself. He was 25-0 before he fought. Anyway, like you can't have 4 rounders now in Q12 because just people. First of all, you're not going to get people.
Can't go to the well.
They're not going to
back to the well. Yeah.
And ticket selling become more and more important now as well. That, like, fighters need to, like, you had Regan Buckley against Cara McDonald, 3 fights between them. You had
and let's like
McAfee and O'Donovan, 4
say if
fights.
you take especially Buckley McDonald, because McAfee O'Donovan you nearly give out the promoter for making it so late because you.
I wouldn't bet him.
But you have to, because we didn't get the build up. Like Buckley, McDonald are 2 fighters starting now, the same as the 37 on a par. No one kind of knew them. They talk a bit of smack. Figure wise for us,
biggest all Irish fight of the year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like in a year when we had Tennyson against Geraghty, you had Geraghty Carroll didn't happen and there wasn't no build up. But like this fight, like 2 guys on a non-televised show, and it was literally the biggest fight of the year for us. The biggest all Irish fight of the year for us.
And that means. If it's the biggest for us, it's the biggest. It's the most read about. If that makes sense. And it just shows you now Buckley is a name.
Yeah.
And McDonald himself is a name, and it's early enough to build back.
That's the thing. Like it wasn't even that Buckley went up and McDonald stayed at the same spot. He didn't even stay at the same spot. Like he went up as well. Like some people didn't think he was, like, some people thought he was out of his depth. He was going to be out of his depth, and like he was very competitive, very good scrap.
They always are good scraps. There's something just brings out in it. There's always good scraps.
And worrying thing for the last man standing. I think the only bad all Irish fights probably was that prize fighter a couple of years ago.
Yeah, true. Well, I don't.
No, it's good. We've heard a few things about the last man standing. It's going to be unreal.
Yeah, but it's something that maybe fighters need to look at. And is it the earlier you do it, the better? And just on that, like we were saying, and on that, why we were saying, like, so say Cummins and Keeler is made. A lot of people accept, like Deco and Jonny probably for November Pete, a lot of people accept that, okay, we all know these are great fights, this is a big fight, but there's still selling to be done on them. Like Buckley and McDonald just sold that unbelievably.
And they went selling it as well,
it was natural, but but like, so, but a lot of times people go into polite mode, don't they? I don't mean you have to sell a fight by.
Oh yeah, we're not asking for tables being thrown or or anything like that.
But just make sure, like, put press into it and put time and effort into it and explain why it's a big fight, and don't accept that the casual knows or whatever. Yeah. Because like, if anything is proof for us anyway, it was that Buckley and McDonald was like our biggest All Irish fight of the year in a year of great fights.
Something like, I think 14 All Irish fights, 11 of them fights between 2 prospects or like.
And so you're talking 2 starters, novices, and at the lighter weights, which is it goes against logic. But
that was the chief support of a.
And then small hall as well. It wasn't like an Irish fight on a big card that we've seen, and it was like so.
Took over the stadium. Paddy Gallagher was tweeting about it, which is mad. If you think like you have like a guy who has nothing, and he's like tweeting, and names are.
I actually think I was interviewing him, and then the music started for it, and he just said, "Why don't I?"
Well, I actually remember we got a message. This was last year. The year before last, when Cray and McKenna was happening, from a guy called Garrity McCosker. He's an Irish American fighter. I think he's over in California, and he was just saying how Ireland is brilliant. These are mental. Like, you'd never hear of a fight like Cray and McKenna over in America, and like I'm following this every week. Like it's just crazy that like.
And I honestly think
it's a unique scene.
I think there is with so many fighters. There can be a division too there, like, and it's not disrespecting fighters, but like there could be an element where, I don't know, you have your Cray, Hanny, Shorty, if you just take around that way, whereas they could have just like have Irish title trilogies and prop up cards, be remembered for being in animal fights. Like, what's Eddie Hyland remembered for? Good Irish title for wars, like, and not everyone has to say, And whoever wins the 3 can go on and try and win European and world titles. But in between, let's have good scraps. Like, I don't know, the British title fights they're remembered. Let's like make the make the Irish title fight that.
The way, like, it's not, you can't. The way the scene is, you can't just get to 15-0 and then be in a big fight. Like, if you have, and why not have those domestic fights now, and use them to get to your, and then when you're ready, and then you can go in and fight the big British prospect where you're the B side and you're ready for it. You've had those tough fights. You've been in those dark spots before. You had a bit of experience now.
And 15-0, like, isn't as,
or even 10-0, but
it's not as valued as it was before. Like, you could be 12-3 and have a big win, and you have a better chance of getting a fight than if you were 15-0 against a nobody, if that makes sense.
I just see we've a message there from Sean Cray, and that's proof of the pudding as
well. Best call out merchant of
the new Fitz.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is.
And there, Anto Fitz, before he even go on to that. Anto Fitz, Ross to Robbie Long. No, did he win the first one or lose the first?
I think he lost the first one because he was
and got knocked out in the
Dunn card, yeah.
But just another bloke who used the site well called out the world and its mother, but he ended up getting Andy Lee eventually.
And Hassan.
Yeah, Hassan.
But Sean Gray, as we were saying, that like is a name. He headlined the show. He was able to headline a show in Tala. He is one of like we see the stats. We see what people are clicking on the site, and like you like taking these big fights. You're not, even like Sean Cray lost. He was stopped, and he's still a big name.
He took
and now he wants other big names, and people are interested in that because like they know, okay, his next fight could be a big one. If he has his way, it's going to be a big one.
Benefiting from the McKenna fight.
Yeah, benefiting from the McKenna fight, exactly.
And the whole media week.
Yeah, like being involved in that.
Another thing about
like obviously I'm going to say just managers have their fighters.
We shouldn't be lecturing people.
No, we're not lecturing. Yeah, I don't mean to be lecturing.
I know just
manager, and they obviously want to preserve and keep their fight and like get a fight that your fighter's going to win.
Yeah, but you
take the risk. Take the risk,
and you can really benefit more from it. Yeah.
Richard Declan Geraghty, when he lost to John O'Carroll, like he didn't have to. I know that was very early in his career, but he didn't have to go straight back to the start. Like he was pretty much at the exact same spot he was.
And there is like a lot of the new fellas. There is some great stories there, isn't there? And some great characters, and you don't know how far they're going to go. But for us, we still cover them, and there is you can see from covering them, like there is a way to. There's a pathway to success for them that isn't world titles, and like. They still can be names in the sport, be involved in good fights, remembered for good fights, and they can prop up massive cards, and that can make the whole difference to Irish boxing.
Well, that's what we're trying to say as well. That 37 new guys this year. I think we've already had like 3 or 4
times. I'm getting 37 world champions out of them.
But if we have enough now to make a scene with the smaller shows, we have seen. So if Eddie comes over, like the Macklin against Highland card, like that wouldn't a card like that wouldn't happen again. That card had like Yafai, Crolla, Egginton, all on it, because like Eddie went for them. Eddie went for them because like there was no Irish names, no ticket sellers. Now you have guys like in the last year, Eric Donovan has he headlined 3 shows. He's like I know we said TV probably is coming back for Last Man Standing, but like there could be TV there as well. Like get your European title fight, and now like if we have a sort of a base of domestic level fighters,
and hopefully promoters build off the back of their stars as well, like it doesn't sort of fall away for a while again. Like Carl, in fairness, Carl used McCluskey well. Yeah. Like it's not.
But you could see it a bit with Burnett, and you had Highland and Tennyson. The stadium, like even you say building off the back, but it's almost instantaneous if you're associated. Like
I'm just using the terminology.
But like I think it was the show in June, and Tennyson, who like he was on before Highland, I think, and we've been in Tennyson since day one, and fighting in small halls, and suddenly he's on this big stage, the TV cameras there, and the crowd's going mental. It was instant star, like out of nowhere. Obviously not, I know like the groundwork's been laid, but
you're right, yeah.
It can happen in a click, like.
But it's exciting times with and I don't know like how many. The only fear though I have is that there's so many coming at, so like everyone's getting the 4-0 and 5-0 at the same stage, so there's like 40-50 fighters just fighting journeymen over the 3 or 4 small hall shows, and so like to keep things interesting, people are going to have to fight each other, and as we explained,
it's getting to the stage now where
the benefits of it.
We have this new brilliant. We have the Celtic Nations title or the BUI Celtic title, both of them. That's an 8-round fight. It's getting to the stage now where a 6-round fight can be almost seen as an eliminator for that fight. And like suddenly, like a 6-round fight could be a big fight for it. Like it's brilliant because like you're getting fights of importance. Because trust like no one like you can do your building sort of out of the public eye, but if you're getting people to come put their hand in their pocket and come to follow you, like you can get Granny Rita to come for fight 1, maybe fight 2, but
after that,
as I think Leonard Gunnan said, what you can fight Zoltan Horvat or Horvat Zoltan. Like she's not going to come if that's in your 8th fight. Like
which is probably another point. Going away for a fight or 2 isn't too bad. Who out of the 37 this year did stood out for you? So debutants this
year. Like McAfee had like from
a couple of knockouts and then your
couple of knockouts and a couple of knockouts. Fight of the year,
round of the year, maybe.
Round of the year, definitely. Fight of the year, maybe. And just has a bit of swagger as well. Victor Rabbi, very very polished as well.
And started with a good call out.
Started with a good call out. It was answered by Craig.
Cutting up a little bit.
He won't mind saying that. But yeah, there's been a couple. Liam Gaynor was very solid as well for an 18-year-old, not an amateur, a note, and it was 2 solid wins. The match quite tough as well. Buckley, obviously, as you mentioned.
And he was a decent fight in
England, Craig Derbyshire down at his weight. Paddy McCrory as well looked very good in the second fight. Crocker, obviously, yeah. The lad called Mick Conlon over in New York.
Not bad.
Not bad. David Oliver Joyce. Cully has been unbelievable as well.
Yeah, you love him.
I love Cully, I'm sorry.
And good fans as well.
Good fans, yeah.
Then McGlinchey.
Yeah.
It's definitely, if McGlinchey gets in a British title fight or goes on some 12 rounder on Sky or BT or whatever, he's going to be in a fight of the year. I'll put my mortgage on that.
Yeah. He's
going to win like fight of the year. He just loves a fight. And there's some lads that like who really sort of put a smile on my face.
Martin Quinn.
Oh yeah, told you, Joe. Like
predicting knockouts
and loving it, loving it. And
Graham McCormick O'Shea,
exactly the same. Yeah, exactly the same. And just happy to be there and doing what he can, and yeah, like reminds you of kind of early sort of Sean Cray stuff as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
just been in there loving it, or and like from our point of view, there's a place for them all, and that's what.
Yeah,
it's a bit soppy or whatever, but that's what irishboxing.com or Irish boxing generally is about. Like you know, you top to bottom.
John Joyce as well. Actually, if we've just gone back to he was like we were discussing this earlier. Like you didn't even realise he's almost so established. Like,
I didn't think it was a debutant this year. Yeah,
which is crazy. He has a couple of good fights next year as well in line. I'd say like
there's loads of them that like. And
we've probably left out like there's 37. We've mentioned probably about 10 there, and we've forgotten.
Like sort of the next group of people that are annoying for big fights. That's what the exciting thing is now. So Big Sexy's putting himself in a great place. Noel Kennedy should. Ray Moyla had the year of all years.
Yeah, 8 fights, most wins.
Has to be the best debut year of nearly.
And he only fought. I think he fought March to October. Like he took a few months off at the start, a few months off at the end.
And has hopefully a title fight coming up in March. And like there's loads of them ready to kick on. We're probably waffling on about the early doors people now, but there's a whole new scene of I suppose your Phil Sutcliffe's, Tyrone McKenna's, Tommy McCarthy's, Paddy Gallagher,
Angelo Cacace as well.
Yeah, there's massive fights for them next year. Well, nice kick on fights for them next year.
Well, they're all sort of like.
Do they have to go and seek them though? Do they have to go and look for them? Like,
see, I don't like.
Like Tyrone's done great this year by putting his name out there.
Tyrone McCullough has done it well. Like, he's ready for hopefully that Joe Ham fight. But you have a lot like. Probably, and I'd say fans really agree. The most frustrating thing about boxing is when a fighter obviously has to take a warmer fight to get ready for the big fight, and then the big fight just doesn't come, and maybe look 4 months in, like I might have another one, and just gets put on the long finger. Now we sort of have fighters that are ready. Like Cacace had a fight in December; he's ready to go now. McCarthy ready to go. McCullough ready to go.
How do we get them? How do we get them then fights? Or what happens? Do they have to proactively seek them?
I think
someone's
going
going to
put
money into the
I know it didn't turn out well for. I know it didn't turn out well for McCarthy with Askin, but that is sort of like they're already now, and it's going to have to be probably going away again. Like they can't all be on the Frampton undercard or on a Burnett undercard. Like there's just too many fighters.
On the Frampton and Burnett undercards, are we putting pressure on Eddie and Frank to put money in the pocket and get them these fights, or?
Well, if I had my way, they'd be fighting each other, but. Yeah, like the more pressure does need to be put on, and like in fairness, Irish boxers are probably the best for call-outs out of.
It works though.
Yeah, it works.
It works. We'll list them all off, and who the first. Craig mentioned McKenna first on irishboxing.com.
Yeah.
And
Carol mentioned Cray first as well. But, well, that's going to happen next year hopefully as well.
I don't know. Buckley and McDonald came out of nowhere, did it, or did we mention that first?
No, I think that came out of nowhere, but we stoked the flames.
Anton Fitz got Andy Lee from calling out on IrishBoxing.com for a year. Once the seed is planted, it generally progresses and happens. Like so.
Keeler Cummins, I think, was the site.
Yeah, Timsy Sweeney. Yeah, Pete, we never saw Timsy the Block Reynolds, wasn't it?
Yeah, shame. Yeah. Do you want to go for the amateurs for a bit, actually?
No, go away, Joe.
Just obviously last year Europeans and World Championships, so it's a bit of a quiet year. I say that, but there is so much of the underage guys, and then there's 2 seniors, one in February, one in November. There was also Commonwealth Games and University Championships. Starting Commonwealth Games, team was announced there yesterday, and this is now like Paddy Barnes, Mick Conlon, David Albert Joyce. They've all turned pro. Katie Taylor, they've all turned pro. This is sort of now where stars are made. Kurt Walker obviously won a bronze last year in the Euros, but still, like, Commonwealth Games are amazing just for you become an instant star.
Yeah. So you live off it.
Yeah.
Well, not live off, but like it's something that has always a benefit. Can you scroll down there in case there's more questions?
Oh no, they're going that way. But yeah, you've so many medal contenders going over. You've Kurt Walker, you've James McGivern. Happy birthday, by the way! It's his birthday today, 20.
And then it's Crocker's birthday.
Crocker's birthday as well, 21.
The Day of Animals.
The Day of Animals, according to James. You've Aidan Walsh, who was very impressive in the Ulsters. You've Michaela Walsh, who was the first ever woman not named Katie Taylor to win a gold medal for Ireland at a major tournament. Alana Niall as well, who's was bronze last time out, back again, who's looking better than ever as well. She's in her 30s now, and she's over there with the British Army, and she fought Mira Pokkinen a couple of months ago. That she's getting regular fights through them. Who else is there? Stephen Donnelly as well, who's gone to his 3rd Commonwealth Games, which is amazing. Brendan Irvin, I'm going to end up naming the whole team as medal contenders now. Connor Wallace as well.
Medal contenders, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I expect a new star to come out of there, and even on the Irish scene, like the last couple of years, there's been Gabriel Descent, Paddy Donovan, Eamon Coughlin, all in and around the lightweight welterweight, and then up at middleweight, Michael Nevin, and all of them are becoming senior this year.
This is the year for new names, though, isn't it?
This is the year for 1.5 years out from the Olympics. Yeah, this is when someone can come in out of nowhere. You can get your sort of...
But there's more space to come in out of nowhere with so many turnovers, if that makes sense. Yeah.
And they need people like that.
And the youngsters today can talk.
Yeah, they can.
They all watch Conor McGregor, don't they? So you're going to have way more little spiteful fights over the next few years, like slaggins and stuff like.
Oh yeah, I won't mention who they are, but I feel talking to 17 and 18-year-old lads, and they're planting seeds already, and they're they know well.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it's going to be a good year. I think there's the seniors.
Is it hard to sell the seniors this year without the names, or can you say, look, these are the next gen?
Well, see, seniors is a bit because there's 2 this year. They're doing one in February and one in November. Seniors in February, because a lot of the guys are going to be going for.
It's going to be crap seniors in February.
It might not be crap, but
no, but I mean it's not going to be everyone's not.
Yeah, I don't think Macomb or Walker or Irvin are going to be entering in February because they've come out games in start of April. They'll probably be going over to Australia in March. Plus the under-22s happen in January, and they have European Championships over in March as well. So there might not be that much crossover. The one in November though is going to be unbelievable because you have everyone back. Next year is going to be the first year where you can qualify for the Olympics, and. So everyone's going to want to be on that team,
and there should be stars made from the Commonwealths and some more underage medals.
It's going to be like a change from January 1st, 2018 back to January 1st, 2017 has been massive. It's going to be the same again this year, I think. And finally, we're just going to go on to a few picks. Maybe just what your All-Irish fight for 2018 was, or for 2018 will be.
I don't know if either will thank me for this. I know. Jono seems to be getting a bit pissed off. We talk about it all the time, but Jono and Deco would just be, and half of it is just thinking of the pressers before, and if Jono was what he done coming out on BT for the last one, if this was done on that Sky show, Jono coming out and Deco, it has everything. Style match up, not so much a clash of styles as the last one probably where Jono. Went on not as much, but
the argument that it has everything as well is one that's sort of been people sort of rail against that. Jono doesn't need Deco. Jono's IBF rated, which he is. Like, Deco winning, but
yeah, but what does Jono like? That's true, and like
it is
so
true.
it
It
falls
is
in
true.
Jono's court,
Yeah,
and like I think
exactly.
Deco will admit that, like, but
in terms of a fight, like
and
that would raise your profile, yeah.
It's like, so how does he fight another
That's
equivalent of the last time, and like
it'll be great again,
and
it'll
it'll
be great.
have
It
his
could have his
ranking,
ranking, but
so do we just keep doing that till you get to hopefully get a world title shot down the line, or do you
I
have
don't know.
like a legacy fight? And I presume it'll come down to money, like to some degree, but it's just a fight that has everything. But yeah, Deco wins. It's more of a there's a bigger carrot for Deco there.
Did you say Deco wins it?
No, I mean Deco wins more in terms of the fight being made.
Oh,
bigger
yes,
carrot
yeah,
for
yeah,
Deco
yeah.
there.
No, I get
Like,
you.
I'm not calling that one. It's a Spike that asked me to call Spike
Spike
Busy.
asked you.
Yeah. So yeah, that one, but like that's it. It's a quality fight, and I think I don't know whether the build up would be tempered down now because it got kind of so personal, and not to win an oil level at the week after the November 18th clash.
Without sounding like Eddie Hearn, they don't like each other.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't like each other, and sometimes. But no, I agree with
And
you.
like,
I really
I don't know, we probably shouldn't be talking about us this much, but for fights like that, for us, like, people just for some reason think we take a biased angle as where we don't. Like, if anything, if someone put a gun to your head and said call a winner or who do you want to win, the only thing you think is
which is best for Irish boxing.
Yeah, so which is best for Irish boxing? Like, that's the only. But outside that, doesn't really matter to us. Like, it's just kind of kills it a little bit when you're watching them fights, isn't it? Because
no, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so but you still get we're blessed enough that they're good scraps. Like, you still get the excitement level, but yeah, we don't get to watch them like fans. Them fights.
No, you're heading a computer the whole time as well. I'm gonna go a bit down more early at the start. And Stephen McAfee against Colin O'Donovan, which I think Fighter.ie have the video of the last 30 seconds of the 6th round. It was unbelievable. I was sitting about 2 feet away from it, and it was just the amount of blood just throwing for
both white shorts.
Both white shorts as well. Always wear white shorts. The amount of the potential for legacy there. But yeah, just brilliant. And that fight was one agreed on short notice, and it didn't save it, but it added so much to that show. You came away from that show because it went from McAfee O'Donovan into Byrne against Whitehouse,
which is another unbelievable.
Yeah, and then into Eric Donovan headliner. It was you had a proper for first time in ages. Well, actually not first time in ages, but it's good to see the National Stadium fights.
What was the atmosphere like?
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
But the National Stadium to have a proper top of the bill card, a couple of fights, almost like a TV show, just at Irish level. That is the dream. That's what you want.
Yeah. And was it round 1 to 4 animal, or just, I don't know? Some people are saying it was an unbelievable last round.
It was it was round 1 and 2 were quiet enough, and then it just got progressively better and better every round.
If that was a 6th round, it would have been like.
It was 6. If it was an 8
rounder.
8 rounder, they would have died of blood loss probably. But that, and again, that was a 6-rounder eliminator for the BUI Celtic title, and now they're going to fight for that next year, the two of those lads. And a guy like Colin O'Donovan, again, he won't mind me saying, he's an away fighter. He's always going to be in the away corner. And now he's a bit of a name already.
If you look at where Jono is. Jono started and was an absolute nobody before the first episode.
In fairness though, he did have fans when he was a two-way fighter that night. He would have.
No, I mean in terms of you're saying their names now.
Oh yes, yeah.
So
exactly,
Jono was before he made sure he was named. The first time I was interviewing him, I didn't know who Jono was, and then afterwards, he was he loves the camera, does Jono, and he made sure he sold himself. But as for an example of an early fight for making a name for yourself, look at where Jono and Deco are now, and that could be these boys, but they're going to rematch fairly early, though, isn't it? So.
Well, again, that's
the draw means you can do it further again.
Yeah, but that's almost, I'm saying that's a modern day. If they've done that, their BUI Celtic Eliminator or whatever you want to call it, 6-rounder, fight for the title next. If it's close again, fight for the Irish title next. You can get these trilogy fights. These fights early, there's Fitz against Long as well, the exact same thing. Only the BUI Celtic wasn't around then, and they both have things that they weren't sure. I think McAfee felt he started loading up, looking for the top. He wasn't happy with his performance. left pretty quickly afterwards. O'Donovan came in, I think, at 2 weeks' notice. He was a bit heavy as well. He was worried about gassing during the fight. So they both have
excuses.
They both have things. It's not even excuses, but
no,
things, they both feel like they've more in the locker. So
things they can improve on, yeah.
And like, I can only see it going back into a war again as well.
Let's hope we'll look forward.
Because that's the thing. Because I think O'Donovan was the more established amateur, but he loves a war, and McAfee is just pure Hollywood. Like, he's brilliant to watch, and hopefully that's on the next Celtic Clash 5 or 6 card. And
anything else you want to see in 2008?
2018?
Really?
You're getting old.
Yeah. 2018.
Well, just progressive matchmaking as well. Like, I'm not making that as a complaint, but like, there's been some brilliant fights this year. It's getting a lot better now as well. Like, I don't want to say getting away, but promoters no longer could do. Not saying that they were, but you can't have a fight with 9 knockovers and then a one-sided headline fight. Like, there is there's more and more 4-rounders that are turning into wars. Oh, do you remember that fight? And like, it's getting better. Red Corner were very good at the start of the year. Like,
matchmaking, yeah.
The last Celtic Clash show was good. This next Mark Dunlop show has some good matches on it as well. Like, and because the UFC as well is just so.
It's
every fight. It's setting you down, and like, if people have a choice, if they want to go to a boxing show or they want to go to Cage Warriors 77 or whatever, they know if they go to that, they've 6 hours of competitive fights. Whereas you used to not get that, and it's probably the same everywhere. It's probably the same over in England as well.
Definitely. I know that's changing.
And like, there's it's no longer that you can do. It's not like, with the greatest respect to journeymen, sometimes it's a bit of a dancer team with a lot of domestic journeymen from Britain. Whereas like, now you're getting in these guys, you're getting in African guys, you're getting in Spanish guys who may not be technically best, but they're fit, they're strong.
They have a go.
Yeah, and it's boxing the sport after all, and you have now fighters who, if you didn't put in the camp, you're going to lose, which is what it should be. It's a competitive sport.
And no harm in keeping the bit of panache and pizzazz. I think promoters should try and make events out of it, even from the small hall to the top as well.
Yeah, and we are starting to get that as well. We're getting a lot more dry ice and a lot more laser shows now, and it's brilliant.
Fighters, Craig O'Brien should definitely come out to Johnny Logan home again. I know he's fighting against it, but that would make a massive difference. It, like, would get all the Bows fans on side, wouldn't it? And could
another actually good thing.
Pick your walkout music carefully.
Walkout music shorts. Associate yourselves to football clubs as well. But another thing is the return of small hall as well.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Brilliant. Like Ireland's with the National Stadium, purpose-built 2,000 seater. Like, you're gonna have, like, it's almost, it wouldn't feel right to call Celtic Clash or the Red Corner small, because like you kind of over 1,000 people there. But we're talking about hotel rooms.
It smells.
But and the Kieran Farrell is brilliant with the standing tickets as well, in the Devonish, and like, it's just sort of different atmosphere, and it's real grainy, and like, it was good to see SK Promotions come back with that in the City West, and now they have another one in February 3rd.
And I presume it takes a little bit of pressure off then as well, does it? Like, if you'd only have to sell 500 tickets or 600 tickets, but you're getting the same atmosphere as you would.
Oh yeah, the atmosphere in there can be brilliant, yeah.
And then that helps you, allows you to build and maybe avoid having to make bigger fights. Like, if lads can go back to the small hall to take a break after having an all-Irish fight or whatever. Yeah. I just hope mainstream media then as well, I think Katie will bring mainstream media back in in 2018, but I hope the boys appreciate, and I think you do see a few tweets that when they're stuck on from covering other stuff ourselves or whatever, rugby players or football players, or it's a privilege to cover boxing, and especially to interview boxers, and not just because they're head cases, but they talk to you honestly, and they talk to you, and you get great stuff out of them, and they're
genuine as well.
And it's recognised by the mainstream media, and it's something hopefully that boxers and promoters and managers, I know you have to sell certain things or whatever, but that they realise and keep, because it's going to be in boxing's unique selling point moving forward, I think, with the more with media getting more sanitised and media trained. Forget all that, and
people aren't trying to catch out in boxing as well. Like, there's no,
just stick to being honest and straightforward and mischievous, I suppose. Be spikes and tinsies and whatever, be head cases.
It's a short career, Anyway, thanks a million for listening. We're going to try and get this every month, at least.
We won't be as lectured, we're probably more reactive when we have fights to talk about.
January is always a quiet month.
And every month or week, did you say?
Month.
It'll be long trek for Joe every week. And again, thanks for the support for the site, and like, honestly, hopefully we can kick on again this year, and like we don't want to be going cap in hand, but like sponsorship wise, it would be a massive benefit for any company to work with us. And if you see how passionate we are about the sport, we fuel off passion, but we can't live off passion. So if anyone wants to get involved in any way, sponsor this, sponsor stuff on the site, or work with us with in any regard, you know how to get in touch.
And thanks again to Liffey Cranehire, Michael Gill, and Dublin Plumbing and Gas with Dave Murphy.
Massive
So
thank
much
you.
help.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.